Wow, now I have a headache. That was fun. And this will be even more fun. I had to go for a run. That's why I'm sweating so much, because I have to go a run to get that out of my system. And now it's time to make the video. Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you're all having a fantastic day, because I'm not, I'm afraid. I'm a massive Game of Thrones fan. I've got all the t-shirts. I'm a Targaryen today, guys, because I think that's fitting for the final episode. I'm also, as you say, I feel quite deflated by this season 8. I'm a massive fan. I've read the books. I've done everything like that. I'm a massive fan of the books. The TV show has generally got worse and worse, but I want to still say I'm still raising the TV show above any other TV show I've ever seen. Even after watching this season 8, 100%. It's better than anything I've ever seen in terms of the visuals, the budget, the scale of it, and even the characters. I know they wanted that developed and they did flip-floppy this season, but we'll look into that into detail over each individual character. The main characters, of course, a few together that are lesser characters, as you put it, or just there to fill the seats. But the main thing is, I want to say right from the get-go, this is mostly, if anything I say that's quite passionate, it's mainly my opinion, okay? I will say stuff that is bang on facts, what I think is wrong with this season. I want to say right away, the bad writing, it does feel rushed, and then there's main issues that you can point to this. It's rushed, bad writing, and wasn't really earned, if you know what I mean. That's the issue. I have nothing wrong, I want to say right from the get-go, nothing wrong with the actual events of the series. If you break it down into what has happened, and I'm not going to say anything just yet. I just want to say massive spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen it, and if you do want to see it before you, of course, you watch the reactions on the internet and all that, check them out. Check out the show first, then come back. That's the main thing. But the main thing is I have nothing wrong with the steps in which they've taken or the choices they made in terms of where the characters ended up. It's just, over 6 episodes, it wasn't enough. And there wasn't enough establishment. There's only one character, I think, that got really established to do the things that they did. In my opinion, of course, that's opinion, we'll get to them. But the majority of the other ones, no. They did stuff that was out of character, or they flip-flopped, changed to that. That's the main issue. The main thing is, I think there's real issues with this series, but however, I do raise Game of Thrones above any other TV show I've ever seen in my life. I want to say that right away. Let's get into the characters, okay? We'll start with the first one. Right, we're going to talk about Daenerys, one of the two probably major characters of the show, as well as her sort of side-on characters. Now, I have no issue with actually turning Daenerys mad, which is what everyone loses their mind about episode 5 in the Bells episode, because what happens is seemingly, yes, slowly throughout the series, she starts with all her friends and eventually they just get chipped away. You know, Jorah Mormont dies in the Battle of Winterfell, which we'll get on to. And then, of course, Missandei. Now, I go to McDonald's a lot, guys. This is a bit of a side thing. I go to McDonald's. I try to go to McDonald's a lot to buy a lot. And I buy some sundaes there. And if someone was to nick my sundae, I wouldn't be too bothered about that. But seemingly, Daenerys is upset about that. It was a joke. Slight joke. Don't lose your mind, internet. I get the whole implication of that. I actually understand Grey Worm more getting crazy upset than Daenerys about that, to be honest. Because, really, I know they're friends and all that. But you think she'd be more upset maybe about Jorah dying, or let's say, I know you can argue it's a build-up, but then it's not a build-up. It happened over 2 episodes, and then literally the next episode, episode 5, she ends up killing civilians and kids, which she then, in previous episodes like season 4 and all that, when she's liberating the cities and all that, she says she's doing it to save the people, not burn them. But then, of course, she says she picks hate and all that. I honestly, I have no issue with the line in which they go, in which they say, alright, Daenerys has to go mad, so then Jon Snow has to kill her. Blah, 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 blah. I get that. That is an absolutely fine story. They do tease it in that season 2, where she has that, she gets the vision where she goes to the Iron Throne, she touches it, but she doesn't get to sit on it, and then she goes off to see Khal Drogo and her children argue the afterlife. So they do fulfill that prophecy, which I like. I absolutely like. It's just 6 episodes, man. They didn't do enough to earn that. And Daenerys, the actress who plays Daenerys, Emilia Clarke, she's fine. I honestly think she's not that great. I'm going to be honest, hands down. I think she's just, as you say, they've cast her for a particular reason. I'm not going to go into that. It's just because she looks nice. I don't actually think her acting ability is that great, to be honest. I don't think she can really portray the different emotions that well. I felt like her break felt more like a tantrum. And maybe she was going for the tantrum, but then people have tantrums. They didn't go on mad murderous rages for tantrums. When a tantrum, it's a build-up. It's like a pressure bottle. You build up, you build up, you build up, you build up. So I have no issue with this. What happened to the characters in terms of their stories. I have an issue that happened so quickly, and the only issue I have with Daenerys is the fact, the twist, the bells. You know what happened when, of course, the battle was won, King's Landing were given up, then the Lannisters were all jumping it. She had been told that if the bells had been rung, it means they've surrendered. As well as, even if she felt that she needed the bloodlust, she wanted to get a revenge from Miss Sandy, she couldn't just go to McDonald's and buy a new sundae. What she had to do then was just fly to the Red Keep, because Cersei was just sitting there drinking wine, That's my bit of a criticism, a bit of a spoiler for her head, a criticism for Cersei. All she does is drink wine. Drink wine and wonder why the world's falling apart around her. So she just needed to fly over there with her big-ass dragon, that seemingly, and we'll get onto plot armour, seemingly this dragon, Drogo, the big one, the easier target, you could argue, because it's big. But then, of course, it's not getting ridden. That's probably an argument you can, because the other dragon wasn't getting ridden. Those scorpions, I don't know what was the difference between the scorpions Euron used when they were going to Dragonstone, where he was able to be, no-scope king, free-scope and hire them, hit the dragon to hell and back. Absolutely no-scope the living Jesus. I don't get why he chose the lesser one to do it to, but you know what, plot armour. But then, of course, this one was able to destroy King's Landing. At least 20 scorpions, would you say, along the wall and all that? And even Cersei was like, we have plenty of scorpions. She can't have destroyed them all. Then Qyburn, her, bitch boy, goes like, no, I'm afraid she has destroyed them all. Even her reaction's like, that doesn't make sense. And the audience is like, yes, that doesn't make sense. So those are my issues, okay? That's the issue with the writing. My issue with the characters are very little, actually. I do understand why Grey Worm went off the plot. He lost me Sandy, And then I understand why Daenerys, if it was a build-up and she got portrayed by Jon Snow, that's a build-up. But then again, I even doubt that Daenerys, on her worst day, which could have been worse than what she went through, wouldn't have done what she did. She would have went to the Red Keep and killed Cersei, which would have been absolutely fine too. And you could argue they needed to make that storyline work in terms of the fact that Jon Snow needed to kill her. That's what they needed to do. And they had little time to do it, so they had to kind of pile it up on her. That's my kind of opinion on it. The main thing is, I don't mind in terms of the actual points of the story they went for. I have a mind with the problem how rushed it was and how quickly it happened in certain aspects. And some of the things weren't justified, if you know what I mean. The main thing is, let's jump on the next character. You know who it's going to be, probably, if you know who the other main character is in Game of Thrones. See you soon. Alright, it's time for Jon Snow. I would argue is Daenerys, Jon Snow are the two main characters. You can probably chuck Tyrion in there, which we'll get onto in a second too. But Jon Snow, what did he even do for the 5/6 of this series? He's the king of the north. He's basically just Dany's bitch or Sansa's bitch or the rest of the Stark's bitch throughout the whole show, just nodding, kind of contemplating, internalising, being the kind of audience sometime and going like, what am I witnessing here? I was absolutely fine with him in terms of, I'm actually a person who's not too bothered that he wasn't the one that fought the Night King. I'm actually happy with that. I think that's quite a good subversion. Especially because I'm doing it here, Arya. I think Arya is probably the one character I felt they gave enough development to kind of justify her power level, if you know what I mean. Her power level was good enough to beat the Night King. I'm a bit annoyed that she didn't have any desire to really fight the Night King, and I thought it was cheap. And we're talking about Jon Snow here, but we're talking about the prophecy of the close, the red eyes, the green eyes, the blue eyes, and the brown eyes. The showrunner switched the order. It wasn't blue eyes first, guys. The showrunner just, when we watched season 3 and went, that's a good line, we can use that, guys. And that's an easy one to fix. That's an easy one to do. The showrunners have had a hard on for Arya the whole time, man. That's season 4 and 5 where she's just sweeping a fucking floor down all day. But anyway, my issue with Jon Snow as a character is he was just a bitch throughout the whole thing until it took literally Daenerys burning the whole of King's Landing down, including children and kids, for him to go there. And he still needed the push from Tyrion. Tyrion still had to tell him, yo bro, there's a problem with this crazy bitch, you have to kill her. And then of course he did do that. And then I have an issue with that as well. He is the last Targaryen. He is. He's the last Targaryen alive. That you can argue that means he's the rightful ruler of Game of Thrones. He never wanted it. Neither did Bran though. My god, Bran Flakes won the Game of Thrones in the end. That is just a big what the hell moment. But Jon, what did he do? He took out Daenerys, he filled out that Azal Gal prophecy. It's in the books, but not really in the show. It's slightly in the show, alright guys? It's not massively in the show, but the show shit on the prophecies. Man, they don't care. They pick and choose them, and then they make their own ones up that are easier to achieve. That's another issue with the show. But then, I don't mind the ending for Jon Snow. He avoids getting executed for basically committing treason, and then he gets to live out his days in the north. Which, the North, you know what I mean? The North, what the wildlings would call it, what my big man Foreman would call North. I'm okay with that. My issue with him is that he was just so absent for most of it. You could have replaced him with a generic soldier, or a generic person, and he didn't need to be Jon Snow for 3/4 of it. He only needed to be Jon Snow for the final episode. That's it. Jon, man, I don't know how he had the power if he wanted to kind of just say to, as you say, he could have. The dragon had picked up Daenerys' dead body after he, shafted her, not in the way he'd previously shafted her. Don't be dirty, folks. He could have just said, "I'll just cut my finger, guys. I'll just cut my hand, guys. That's what this pool of blood is here. I don't know where Daenerys is. The dragon. She's went off with the dragon. She's went away." But then he's so noble, he's probably just confessed. And then he immediately does something stupid as well. See, when he finds out he's an Aegon Targaryen, he tells Daenerys, because that's the smart thing to do. Do it right before the battle as well, bro. So she might be able to kill you even. And then he then tells Sansa and Arya. And telling Sansa's just like chilling the local with a gossip, Isa from Still Game. Telling Isa from Still Game. Just, it might as well announce it to the world, man. And that bald guy, Varys, I have an issue with his death as well. I can talk about this now. Varys, he's the bald I actually did get the subtext that he was trying to poison Daenerys. I probably should have put this in the Daenerys pit, but I think I'm really combining these bits. Varys was trying to poison Daenerys. That's why he had these little bird, that little girl that came through when he was writing the note in the start of episode 5. That's why he was saying she's not eating, and it's like, well, we'll try again later. That's not trying to feed Daenerys. He's actually trying to poison her. So then you can justify that, and you can argue that's maybe why he put his ring off, because people think that maybe he had the poison in his ring. The poison was in the ring. That's why he hid it before he got taken away. But anyway, I'm actually happy with that, because they prophesied that he was going to die. The Missandra, not Missandei, Missandra, the Red Priestess, whatever her name is. There's too many Missandeis, man. They have more Sundays than McDonald's. But the main thing about Jon Snow, I'm really upset about the fact that he didn't do anything for 3/4. It could have been anybody. I'm happy with what he did at the end. I'm actually happy with his ending. Again, not earned though, because he teleported. He teleported from King's Landing all the way to the Night's Watch. I love that, man. It was just a scene, wasn't it? It was absolutely brilliant. It took one scene for him to do it. But I know time travel, blah, blah, blah. And the show moves at the time, and it was the last scene. I'm very just disappointed there wasn't an end credit scene as well. Just a little hint that maybe there's going to be another Age, or there's going to be another Nightwalker threat, or anything like that. Or White Walker threat. White Walker threat. But the main thing is, let's get on to the White Walkers and the Arya debacle. Because I want to do... Okay, the Night King and the big army of the dead, the winter is here, the biggest threat, the one they've kind of had in the background throughout all the seasons, just kind of ramping up slowly but surely. We see some backstory through Bran flashbacks. This is the big bad. If we don't defeat these guys, we're going to lose it all. And it won't matter who's sitting on an Iron Throne, as our man Davos once said. Well, takes 2 episodes of just build up, have a chinwag, a Winterfell, and then the final episode is actual battle. Now, I'm looking at the episode, it's dumb. It's stupid what they do. They just get hit by a massive wave. If Arya didn't just do what she did at the time, they were all dead. And I don't buy at the very end when they say that they lost half their forces, or like the next episode when they're talking about, we only lost half the Dothraki and half the Unsullied. No, I think she lost them all, love, because at the very end it was just raining zombies and there was only a few of them left. Now, I did like the actual battle, even though I think they've cheaped out. I get why they call it the Long Dark, the big battle. It was the Battle of Winterfell, the episode, I'm pretty sure. Was it Long Dark? I can't remember what the episode was called. Main thing, I get why they did it at night, because it's the walkers and it's they bring the darkness. But then you can still light up the room, right up the battle enough so we can actually see what was going on, and less shaky cam and stuff. This is the director who directed this episode in episode 5, The Bells, which I must admit are my 2 problem episodes, funny enough, in terms of they made the biggest jump in the community and all that. This is the guy who directed the Battle of the Bastards, which is still my favourite by a mile, and probably my best ever battle I've ever seen on television, even film probably. It probably gets up close to Lord of the Rings. But the actual battle, I'm absolutely fine with, in terms of, I get why they did the lights going out. It's a dumb decision. The Dothraki, I get that's their mentality in terms of they always charge into battle. That's probably why they felt they needed to do that, and they couldn't have all the soldiers in the castle. So that's why they had them all in the front. And then all the major characters. The plot armor was strong in this episode. Stronger than any other episode of any television show I've probably ever seen. None of them died until the precise moment they needed to die. And it was the lesser characters that died. Beric, he died. He fulfilled his prophecy. His prophecy was just to chuck his sword across a hallway and save Arya, because Arya was the one going to get it. I like that. And I 100% like the fact that they did kind of use that prophecy over, even though they changed the prophecy around with the blue eyes. They got Missandra saying, like, the Red Priestess. I'm going to call her the Red Priestess. I keep messing up her name because I'll mix it up with Missandei. I've seen too many Missandei memes, man. Honestly, I just keep thinking of McDonald's. But the Red Priestess told Arya the process, saying he's dead now because he's served his purpose. The Hound kind of got courage for helping Arya. I like the Hound and Arya come out, and when I'm going to get to my favourite moment of the season, it is between those two characters, because I do actually feel something, because that was another relationship that was earned, because it was like 3 or 4 seasons of them just travelling in the countryside. And it wasn't with like a wooden actor like the guy who plays Bran. I'm perfectly happy with Bran being the sort of, I am that three-eyed raven, I see everything that was before was, and all that stuff. I'm happy with that. I hope to God the actor was directed to pretend he was a piece of cardboard. But he could have acted a bit better. I just think he's trash. Him and Emilia Clarke are the 2 actors I think let the whole Game of Thrones down. They're not to the right standard of the acting. But the thing about the Dark Knight, the long dark, the Dark Knight, Batman popped in too. I wouldn't be surprised. You could have been in the Battle of Winterfell because it was so dark you couldn't see it. You know, he's in the corner. The new Batman, Robert Pattinson, he's just chilling there. He's just done Twilight. I'm joking, guys. The main thing is, I'm happy with the battle, the way it went. The zombies, the White Walkers, were meant to be an unstoppable force, and that was like an ocean hitting them. I loved that, and the lights going out was a good symbolism. I hate the fact that plot armor didn't happen until the very end before they start again. Jorah Mormont's gone, you're all gone. Sorry about my phone, guys. Jorah Mormont's gone, everyone's gone. I'm happy with that. But I'm telling you what I'm not happy with. To be honest, I enjoyed that episode. I thought it was fantastic. Longest ever battle on screen. It's fantastic. I felt that the Night King and the Walker threat was going to come back at the end, because I felt it was kind of like, well, that's it, done. The dagger, Valyrian steel dagger, the one from the very first episode that Bran gave to Arya in season 7. That's the one that kills. I get that. I don't know where Arya came from. Was she up on a tree? Was she wearing one of the zombies' faces? Arya, I love your character. You're one of my favourite characters in the show. I like your development, even though I reckon you probably spent too many episodes sweeping a floor, in my opinion. You really battered over the head with that, guys. And I understand why you did it now, with the context of, this is the chick that's going to kill the Night King. But I don't get why she didn't use her kind of facelift power, like our you know what I'm talking about, the faceless men, the faceless assassin. She didn't use that power at all. She only used it to kill Walder Frey last. And that's absolutely fine. I'm happy with the Night King, how it went out. And I get the Night King, he didn't do much though, did he? Yeah, he took over the wildlings, he pushed them all back, he took over the wall, he nicked a dragon. The dragon was a piece of shit. That dragon battle was a piece of shit. You couldn't see what was going on. It was literally just like flashing on your screen. But yeah, that's my sort of opinion. I enjoyed the episode. For TV standards, it was a fantastic battle. One of the concerns was it was too dark, and I get it was at night time, but you can tell they were saving money in that. And when you watch how the making of episodes, you can see what they made a massive set, but then you can see some limitations. Like they had buildings next to it and all sorts, and they probably made it dark for that reason. But the main thing is, I want to say, it has to be the actual filmmaking is fantastic. It's the characters that were good, and I felt like there was a good enough setup in the previous 2 episodes for the characters, for us to care about the characters, but the ones that actually died didn't get much setup in the previous one. Like Brienne of Tarth got knighted in the second episode. She and Jaime got pounced on a billion times. All the characters got pounced on a billion times, and they didn't seem to die. It was only the kind of lesser characters who no one gives a shit about. And I felt bad for the guy who was the Night King. I can't remember his name. Rob? Is it Rob? The guy who's the current Night's Watch commander. Looking back now, the only reason they killed him was so that Jon Snow could then get exiled there to be the commander. That's it, guys. That just dawned on me. But the main thing is, I enjoyed the battle. I was thoroughly entertained. I actually liked the Arya thing. I thought that when she was kind of weaving and dipping and diving in the library, that was really good horror. That was fantastic. For an episode, it started off like tense at the start. Then it was big action, big spectacle, Lord of the Rings. Then it became a bit more of a character piece. Then it became the sort of horror with Arya. Then it became sort of like slow motion Sin City shit with like Arya slow motion. And Theon, my man, you went out like a G. I didn't like Bran telling him you're a good man, because in my opinion Theon's not a good man. And he doesn't need to get told he's a good man. He knows he's not a good man. Why the fuck is Bran telling him he's a good man? You're not a good man, Theon. You're trying to redeem yourself by doing this right now. You're a good man after this. Arguably. You still burn kids and all that, mate. You're still an arsehole in my opinion. The main thing is, let's get on to the next character, alright? That's my sort of take from Wild War. I'm annoyed that was it. If you know what I mean. The biggest threat the world had ever seen. The only thing that kind of joined them all together, except Cersei, because she's a bee. That's how it went out. And I didn't mind Arya to kill, and I didn't like the subversion between it was going to be Jon Snow versus the Night King. Jon Snow versus the Night King. Oh, it's Arya! Oh, Arya jumps in! I didn't mind that, because she had a big enough arc to do her power level, which was perfectly fine with me. And she had the Valyrian steel dagger. I know Jon Snow had Longclaw, which is also Valyrian steel, but you know what? It's alright. Alright, it's the Lannisters' time to shine. Now, to be honest, I only have one real problem with one of the Lannisters left in the show. What happened to their story? Of course, it was all rushed to hell and back, but that was rushed in the whole show, alright? My main issue is with Jaime. Tyrion, he's been an idiot. He's been an idiot since Season 7, particularly being an idiot in Season 7, but he's also when the show got worse and worse throughout the seasons, he's also became more of a moron, and the show's actually kind of self-reflected in that, and when they've did the whole Daenerys pointing that out in the start of Season 8 by saying, you're my hand and you keep making mistakes. You trust Cersei when you shouldn't have done, all that, and it kind of, it reflects upon itself quite well. They kind of do that, and that's why kind of Tyrion gets a break from me. I think his decisions at the end of the show when he was convincing Jon, and he also, like Jon, needed a big push to realise Daenerys is a no-go, but then the show was rushing that. So that's why, and I'm perfectly happy with Tyrion, and I really do believe that it's the Jon, Daenerys and Tyrion show. Those are the three main characters of this story. Even Arya, maybe a little bit, even though she kind of gets in the back burner near the end. I'm okay with Tyrion, what happened with him. He had good moments with his brother, he even had good moments with his sister. Now, the issue I've got is with Jaime. Now, this is a man we've watched from the get-go, the start. You get Cody, he's the Kingslayer. You kind of slowly grow to like this character. He starts to slowly get redemption. He has a redemption arc from series 1 to 6 in particular, okay? He kind of stays the same in Season 7. He's just kind of moving about. They're all teleporting, you know what I mean? And eventually, in Season 7, an important thing happens. He leaves his sister. He goes, nah, you're bad for not wanting to help out in the White Walker. Not White Walker, the Walker, the water fight, the Long Night. Cersei's had no intention of helping them at the end of Season 7. And Jaime goes, nah, we should help. We promised, and it's bigger than us. And he does the right idea, and he goes up there, he chills with the rest of them. Daenerys probably had the right idea in terms of, no, we should probably execute you, mate, because your loyalties are on the end, you know, on a balancing edge. Now, I didn't buy it, and then he survives the Long Night, of course, because he has to have that Cersei moment. No, plot armor is strong. And then, of course, he gets with Brienne of Tarth, which is the big fan moment. We're all happy, we're great. That lasted all about 2 minutes and about 2 scenes. After that, what happens is I got the impression I got when I was watching it when he was going to go down to King's Landing again. He's saying he's going to see his sister. Was that he was going to go make sure that she dies, because he's thinking, nah, she's wrong, Daenerys is right, or Jon is right. I got that impression. I never actually got the impression that he was legitimately saying what he was saying. I thought he was just trying to fall Brienne of Tarth off. Did none of you guys get that impression? I did. I thought he was doing the whole thing. I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to do everything I can, including sacrifice. He was doing the Hound thing where the Hound was wanting to get his mountain, get his brother, kill his brother. He was doing that with Cersei because you could probably feel was partly responsible for Cersei being the way she is, you know, because he's been pumping her since they were probably like 12. Now, he then goes down to King's Landing. He somehow gets captured by Daenerys, you know, smart man, or man Jaime, because he doesn't cover up his golden hand. Good man, good plot armor there. But it was the opposite of plot armor. That's people being stupid, picking him up. Then what happens is Tyrion lets him go, and they have their good moment, which I really liked. That was up there for one of my favourite scenes. Okay, there is a scene that beats it for me, and you will see that soon. Then of course he goes down and he bumps into Cersei on the way down. On the way when he actually bumps into Euron first, and they have the most hilarious fight ever. That is horrendous on earth. I get they had Euron in like end of season 6 had the jokey moment where he's like a finger in the bum talking about Cersei. But that doesn't. Surely Yara has more right to fight Euron Greyjoy. Yara Greyjoy has more cause to fight him, or maybe one of the Sand Snakes. That Dawn Prince that turned up at the very end had more right to fight Euron than Jaime did, because Euron didn't even hurt Cersei, and that's who he cares about, right? That's mad. But Euron's the one that had the hard on for Jaime in that fight. And they basically kill each other, but Jaime gets an extra 3 hours of life because of plot armor. And then eventually they go downstairs, and he goes upstairs, she's heading downstairs. Hound and the Mountain are having their little moment, which is excellent. I really rated the Colombian Bowl. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. It's everything I wanted it to be. I thought Qui-Gon went like a bitch, but he is a bitch, so I'm perfectly happy with that. And then, of course, they meet halfway down the stairs in that famous room with the map on the floor. And then they go downstairs. They realise it's all blocked off. Oh dear! And all the things fall. And I actually like the moment they have, and it they apply to that prophecy about you're going to die in the hands of the person you love, and you're going to die. Then the book has the thing about by one of your siblings. Okay, your younger sibling. Of course, Jaime was born a couple of minutes earlier than Cersei. So it could either be Cersei, it could be Jaime or Cersei in the books that's going to kill. Jaime or Tyrion that's going to kill Cersei in the books. But of course the show didn't do that, because the show's smart. They know that they couldn't write that well in terms of making it into the show if they're going to cram it into 8 seasons. So they just had, nothing else matters but us. I like that. Brienne of Tarth got the rough end of the stick. She just got pumped and dumped, which is fuck. But then Cersei as well, what the hell was she doing? This is the tactical woman who got the Golden Company over when the rest are fighting the unbeatable wall, thinking they're going to get depleted. Funny enough, they only get depleted by half, which is hilarious. But then Cersei buys this Golden Company, which is horrendous. The Golden Company are trash. They're absolute garbage tier. Awful. I wouldn't have spent 20 pence on them, let alone 20,000 coin. They were garbage. So she ends up losing. And Cersei's reaction is like, well, I've lost now. What was I doing throughout the whole months or weeks in which the rest of the characters were all fighting this walker? I was just, building the scorpions that were... Only one of the scorpions was built well enough to actually shoot a dragon though, and it was the one Euron used and blasted through when he was... at the start when he was getting Dragonstone. They probably couldn't have got that one back in time, to King's Landing. Even Euron got himself back in King's Landing. I don't know. Only one of those scorpions was usable though. The rest had offsites probably. I'm joking here, but it is plot armor and it's too bad writing. And Cersei's character, she was there to set up poking the bear, poking Daenerys, poke that big bear to piss her off enough to break her break. As in, what she did was kill Missandei, kill the Missandei. She went to McDonald's, said, give me all the Sundays, and then she just looked at Daenerys and went, I'm going to smash this Sunday. And she smacks the Sunday on the ground. That's it. Missandei's gone. So she poked the bear enough to make her break, to make her the true villain. But of course, in that, making her break, she's also killing herself. Those are the issues I have a fault with, and I don't have a problem with Cersei. She is uncompromisable. Her character hasn't really grown. She's been deplorable throughout the whole series, which is perfectly fine. It's Jaime's character. It did change. You went for a redemption arc. You got the happy ending with Brienne of Tarth, but you chucked it away. She must have not been that good in the sack. That's all I'm saying for that sake. But I hate that. I hate Jaime's character in this season. Don't mind Tyrion. He kind of redeems himself. He's going to be the hand of the king for Bran. God, he must be bored out his skull, man, because that guy's a piece of cardboard. You were like, bro, talk about someone else. What's the football scores lately, mate? And he's going to be like, I see everything now. I don't know. He's having a good time. Main thing is, that's my sort of opinion on the Lannisters. It was all rushed. That's the issue with this whole series, but I actually liked all three of them. And I love the death scene when Tyrion goes down, and he funny enough fits through the gap, one of the gaps to get through, and he sees their dead body. I like that. That's a good thing, because all my family and stuff when we were watching the episode 5 were like, we don't know if they're dead, we just saw the rubble fall, and I'm like, they're dead. They're dead, guys. They're dead, guys. And then first 10 minutes of the last episode, yeah, they're dead. And I liked how they died in each other's arms. That was nice. And Tyrion's acting. Peter Dinklage is an actor. He's sky high. He's probably the best actor out of them all. I know I've shat on Emilia Clarke, and I don't know the actor who plays Bran, because to be honest, that guy can go die in a dumpster because he's just fucking trash at acting. Again, I hope that guy gets I know I've really shat on Bran guy. It's just I'm annoyed he's king, and I'm thinking to myself, and the way he was so arrogant, there's a bit where he gets asked, Tyrion asks him, do you want to be king? At the bit when they've all nominated him, except for Sansa, funny enough. And it's like, he goes, why do you think I'm here, bro? And it's like, why didn't you fucking act, you dick? But anyway, I don't know. That's my opinion anyway. The Lannisters, they got shat on except for Tyrion. I hope he has a horrible time as Hand of the King. Hope that he has fun time with that boring prick. Main thing is, let's go on to the sort of miscellaneous characters. And to be honest, yeah, let's get on to them. That's my opinion on the Lannisters. It was all rushed. I didn't mind their end goals. I liked how Jaime and Cersei went, but they needed about another season in between where he kind of got dragged away a little bit. The Brienne with Tarth relationship was it was too rushed. He seemed that seemed like a one night stand to me instead of the ongoing relationship that they had been teasing for 6 seasons or 7 seasons. Anyway, let's go on. Alright guys, we're almost there. I just want to cover some more plot armor and the kind of other characters, Bronn, Davos, Tormund. They're all there, they all survived, they all kind of had their they didn't really get any character development. They got little funny moments, especially Tormund with his whole chasing Brienne, didn't get it, but then he got his end away with someone else, so good on him. And then he went up north where he belongs, happy, and he got with Jon at the end, happy. Sure, those guys will get married, have a relationship, adopt and all that. I'm sure that'll be absolutely real. Then what else? Bran can go to hell. Bronn is one of my favourite characters. I jokingly said I would give Game of Thrones final season 10 out of 10 if Bronn survives, because I thought he was going to be such a character that was going to be easily killed off or anything like that, but they kept him alive and he got Highgarden. Good on you, man. You played the Game of Thrones and did the best you could as well. And then who else is left? Braun, Tammin, Davos. He didn't really advise anybody either. He kind of had a moment where he kind of said to Jon in the last ever episode, like, mate, didn't he piss off Grey Worm here when he's doing his whole executing right now? And Grey Worm, final what I wanted to say. Grey Worms, I've said I understand why his character had more justification for going the way he did in comparison to Daenerys. But I didn't like how he didn't get any comeuppance for it. He's gone off to the Dorne, the island of Narth. Like, of course, their relationship was where they're going to go there and liberate it. So he's going to do something good now and liberate the island of Narth. But he'd done also dodgy shit with the Lannisters and all that. You know what I'm saying, guys. You know what I'm saying. Main thing is, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you agree with me, disagree, it's perfectly fine. I'm absolutely happy. It's my opinion in the end. We all have them. It is my channel. That's why I've given my opinion. Hopefully, if you're watching this, guys, you want to get it. And if anyone's got this far, you are utter legends. I know this is going to be quite a long one based on the recording. I can see it right now. It's 30-40 minutes plus. I'll try and cut it down as fast as I can. As best as I can. I'm not going to go as fast as I can because that's what Game of Thrones have done. They went too quick and they wrecked it. They haven't wrecked it, to be honest. It's still, I would give seasons 1 to 4 for Game of Thrones 10 out of 10s. I would give season 4 9 out of 10. Season 5 8 out of 10. Season 6 I would go up to 9 again just because of the Battle of the Bastards and I liked it a little bit. Season 7 is 7 because it's too jumpy and it has plot that's dumb moments. Then season 8 for me is also a 7 because it had the big battles and the big thing. It gets a 7 for a different reason than season 7 gets a 7 from me. But the main thing is, let me know what your scores are in the comments and how if you're in my opinion, did you enjoy it for entertainment value? But then of course you can see the mental nutcase and you're just waiting for the books in order to get a better ending. That's what I'm doing as well. But drop a like, drop a comment. My favourite scene is the Hound telling Arya. I don't know why. This is another thing. I don't know why when the Hound and Arya are heading down to King's Landing to get their both revenge stories, right? The Hound was 100% going to die. Arya was going to get Cersei, the last name on our list. Except if you include the Hound in the Mountain, which they're both going to kill each other, so that probably cross that out. He waited until he got her through all the King's Landing, all through that danger, and then when they were literally in the Red Keep, he's like, "Nah, mate, you shouldn't go, love. You shouldn't go." And that's the scene I actually like, and the sign off screen will be that scene for me because I really enjoy it. But the main thing is, I hope you have I hope you enjoy. Drop a like, drop a comment, hit the subscribe button. Tell me what you want. I'm happy to review other seasons, happy to do episode by episode. Tell you if you want to know what's happening with the books, I'll tell you what's happening with the books. Main thing is, hope you have a great day, and I really appreciate it. See you in the next one. Peace.